Hello, welcome to Akihabara. I am Kodama, today's your guide for bike taxi tour. The today driver is all. What image do you have about Akihabara? An electric town or a maker of otaku of subculture? Today, I'd like to introduce you a tradition of Akihabara through the history and the culture, while you are taking in both of the real view around you and the image on the screen in front of you. Before start the tour, let me share some rules of this tour. First, please sit at your seat for your safety. Second, you can take pictures during the tour, however, please don't take any direct pictures of passengers as well as girls in maid costumes handing out flowers on the screen. Third, please refrain from posting pictures on SNS if you can see the faces of passengers and girls clearly on them. And one place during the tour, you will get off the taxi and wear headset to enjoy 360 degrees VR video. Please look at the picture on the screen. This is Kandan Market nearby Akihabara in Edo area. From 1963 to 1867, when samurai and shogun ruled Japan. Move the next picture. Many second-hand kimono shops were lined along Kanda River nearby. It was the center of fashion, just like today's Harajuku. Those days, the principal means of distribution of the goods was water transportation, and there is Kanda River nearby. This area was a logistic base. In the Meiji period, the government armed from modernization of Japan and introduced the railway system. The railway had built from Ueno to Tokyo, the northeast region of Honshu land, in order to handle a lot of goods from Tohoku. Akihabara Foreign Station was built and the foreign line from Ueno Station was laid to station. This station has become present GR Akihabara selection. Watch a map on the screen. Can you see a blue line? It is the Hankanda River in travel direction. The blue square part on the right side is a basin of small ships, where now Yodobashi Camera building stands. Please look at your left side. There is a small park. It used to be the channel connection the basin of river. Can you see short bills made in the light brown stone at your lower left? They used to be main bills of the Sankuma Bridge, built over the channel at that time. Goods such as wood and chocolates from Tohoku were transported to Akihabara Freight Station by railway and shipped from there to every place in Tokyo. Later, cars became a mainstream mode of transportation, and rivers or channels were remained or covered by road. Thus, the secret of Tokyo has completely changed. Now, I will tell you the brief history of Akihabara after World War II. Because of the air raid attacks, Tokyo, including Akihabara, had been reduced to ruins. After the war, there were a black market nearby, and there were an electric engineering college in nearby. Many vendors dealt in radio parts such as vacuum tube replaced by the U.S. Army. When GHQ handed on open-air markets in 1949, vendors moved to the place under the Electro-Sub Line Railway, where was offered by Tokyo government and the Japanese National Railway. This is a ranking of present parts market at Akihabara and the electric town. Electric town, the rapid economic growth of the war brought about mass production and mass consumption selected at the household population bond. People's life was improved and become more comfortable. The more you own, the happier you are. The three square towers of the three source symbol of that time were blank and white televisions, watching machines, and refrigerator. Then the new three sort were not necessarily electrons but luxury, color television, air conditioners, and cars. How appliance PC game drivers pop culture. In 1970s, the first PC shop was opened. The advent of computers changed Akihabara dramatically. In 1930, Sony replaced Walkman. The funeral of Japan brought the product field, musician, and high factory. In 1980s, Made in Japan brand became acknowledged by the world. People from the world visit Akihabara for electric appliances and duty-free shops increased. Akihabara, the electric town, became globally famous at the same time. PC game drives such as the Nintendo game software were becoming popular. In 1990s, since Microsoft's Windows 94 PC appeared, PC became widespread public. Solid-state computer improved games, making the chapters more realistic and stories more complex. That enabled games to interact between manga or anime. Just manga and anime, powerful element of subculture came into Akihabara, with otaku who love PCs, games, anime, manga very much. Unique cultures such as otaku culture or more culture developed. Games, manga, and anime-related goods were produced and sold. New business fingers cosplay cafe, maid cafe. Since 2001, shops Amazing and Otaku increased rapidly. In 2005, AKB48, a idol group, was formed. It established the new image of idol, the idol cheered and supported by locals. It influenced Japanese show business and gave birth the new trend which was called idol culture. Akihabara is such a rich ground where new trend and culture are born. Now, some jargon represent subculture from Akihabara, once used with negative nonsense, has become positive and general terms. Akihabara absorbed kawaii or cute culture, developed it into moi kawa new trend. In 2000, Tokyo Governor issued Tokyo Plan 2000 and Tokyo government replaced the urban development guideline for the Akihabara area. According to the guideline, around Akihabara station was replaced and has changed dramatically. You will see the letters Atelier 1 on the building just in front of you. It is a station building opened in 2012. This improved the image of Akihabara Station, allowed so that female waiters feel comfortable. Events, collaboration with animation are often held here. Step out here and you will realize now you are in Akihabara. On the left-hand side in Akihabara Radio Kaika, the most well-known landmark is Akihabara with big yellow sign. If you took a look at the shops inside, you can tell what are in Akihabara. This is a very birthplace in PC in Japan. where NEC sold the first microcomputer kit named TKT in 1976. The first shop is Card Lavio. The shop of Tolenka or trade card. There are Tolenka selection and a geospace. At Tolenka selection, many trading cards and displayed in for sale. Please note the price of each card, from a few dozens of yen, of tens of thousands of yen. The difference is surprising. This difference tells you the need for card, originality and popularity of each card. This is a jewel space. You may have chance to watch a heated match here. Trading cards games are originally in the US. The first game made in Japan was the Pokemon card game in 1996. Later, anime Pokemon was produced and gained popularity. It often happens that the popular card games developed into other fields. Popular trading card games have many players all over the world, including professionals and big money battles are held in the world. Moving on the next shop, a zone on the 6th floor of a short of doors. Doors show often parts of items to assemble only one door in the world for your own. You can choose anime character-like face to rejected face with wire balls. Doors have found a wide variety from otaku who love anime character to loves and attract doors. Door owners enjoy posting their ball-joined doors, changing clothes and hairs of them. Some owners made clothes for their doors may come to a zone for surprise, each skirt and fine dress or the small items. In Akihabara, however expensive, you will pay for what you really want, and whatever will sell if he had need. Lastly, let's say the Akihabara gift shop on the ground floor. You can buy the goods with Akihabara chapters on them and goods in season, as well as popular sweets among foreign visitors. Look at your right side. Inside of the building is part market, where the street vendors moved after the war. There is no other place in the world where electric park and device shop can treat like this. Everybody enjoys making things by hand. That contributes to the technological development of Japan. One thing you can't miss here is the first Sony Walkman, TPS LE. It is memorable forerunner of Japan's broad product features, musician, and high functions. You see a lot of duty-free store building around the station. In front of you, the Chuo or Center Street. This is the main street of Akihabara with the very image of a mecca of otaku. Some visitors come to Akihabara to just take pictures of the street and get satisfied. However, in the old days when Tokyo was called Edo, this was the highway from Shogun. The General Moso, when he visited Kane, his family termed in Ueno. Now coming to view in traveling direction in Mansebashi Bridge over Kanda River. Beyond the bridge, can you see red brick arched construction? This is the electric railway of the present JR Chuo line. Once there was Mansebashi station here. Please watch the screen. The first Mansebashi station was built in 1912, designed by Tatsuo Kingo, the famous artist who also designed by Tokyo Station. It was a beautiful building in Tatsuno style characters by white hands, red brick and columns. Watch the screen again. Being a transport station where passengers changed trains or tram, the site was always busted with many people. There was a sort of famous Navy hero, Kamada, Hiro said, and his subordinate warrant officer Sugino in the station square. In 1919, Chuo Line was extended to Tokyo Station. This made Mansebashi Station an electric station with fewer passengers than before. In 1923, the first station building was brought down in the wake of the Great Kanno earthquake. The second generation station building was complete in 1925. In 1936, Railway Museum was animated to the station while station area was drastically reduced. In 1943, Mansebashi Station finally shuttered its doors. In 1948, Railway Museum changed its name to Transportation Museum and was loved by many railway fans and children. In 2006, the museum was closed and now located in Saitama City. Look at in front of you. You can see only videos of the subline. Please look at the screen. The picture shows Akihabara when the subline was built. The viaduct in front of the Onari Viaduct and another beautiful Ashashap on the right side is Hanago-cho Viaduct. You can see it later. The electric railway of the subline was extended from Ryogoku to Ochanomizu in 1932. Its height is the same level with the three-storied building, far higher than the Yamanote Line, another electric railway. People came all the way to have a look over them. Now, Onoden is on your left side. It is a duty-free store. Later, you will enjoy Victory visit to this store. Please look at a picture on the screen. This is the Chuo Street just after World War II. Then, look up opposite side of the street. You'll see the parts market under the viaduct. Can you say? It is very simple with the picture. More than 70 years has passed, and Akihabara has changed a lot since then. The taxi is going toward the Bank Street, where it's always busy with people and engineers coming and going, and lined with professional specialist shops which can meet their demands. It indicates characters of Akihabara and the charm of the hobby. Interest and technology growth in custom often has out flyers on the street. Please refrain from taking direct photos of them and avoid posting any photos on SNS if you can see faces of passengers or those girls clearly. Now, Tokyo Hisokuri Land is coming to view on your left side. This is a store specializing in museum entrustment. They say you will find any kinds of major equipment you may need at this store. Among shops in Akihabara, where you can accept very knowledgeable salesperson, this may be the only one with super specialist Tato Kanza, who you can consult for anything about major interest. There are varieties of used items too. Guests often enjoy blowing on the anemometer of taking their face temperature with their thermometer. Interestingly, you can see the needs of the times from the way measures in customs sale and the store. In 2011, after the Great East Japan earthquake, radiation, customs, and electric metals were in the great demand and out of the stock, and so are thermometers of post-omegas these days. It clearly reflects the area. Next is a bar gauge, which is run by Tokyo Kansokuri. How about a glass of drink with delicious foods in season? All the gauge and measures in treatment are on display inside of the bar. Now, on your right side is electric railway of the Sublime. The reason why so many railways were electrified because Meiji government ordered as such, in order to avoid obstructing traffic by laying railroad on the ground. So you can see beautiful arch-shaped Hadagocho retractor. Please look at your right upper side when the taxi turns on the left. It's bright green color and beautiful, isn't it? And the right brake arch retractor in the front of you. It becomes a part of familiar sight, and people forget its value. But those arch structure was built in more than 100 years ago, after suffering of the Great Kanago earthquake and the VW World War II. It is still in use, reflecting itself beautifully on Kanda River. Next, let me introduce so-called Edo culture in Akihabara. Please look at the screen on the 7th floor of Pasela building, with a right side board up ahead of your right on the there side of the street. PARMS status is local. There you can see the performance of popular idol groups such as Kamen Joshi or masked girls now on the screen. Speaking of the idol group, the most famous in Akihabara is AKB48. For the past dozen years also, Akihabara is the town where not only items but also idols are produced. The way enthusiastic fans cheer up their idol with shows and performances become well known and popular as odage. And those fans are called idol otaku. However, while the odage went, otaku don't bump each other, built-in small space just like tradition dance of Mego-san, performed in space of only square meters. In otaku zone, means to support your idol, refers to the idol, and profaning odage is referred to as. Soon you enjoy VR experience and Onoden. When we passed by the Chua Street, Onoden is a duty-free store and the electric railway store. Onoden deals not only in produce amid and visitors from foreign customers but also from Japan. For example, Japanese tradition craft selection is on the ground floor that introduce Japanese handwork of high quality. No other shops collect note or display many Japanese tradition crafts of high quality and well and wide range variation and the selection like Onoden. The second and third floor are home appliance selection. You will find most things you need here and enjoy shopping comfortable with kind help of store staff. The fourth floor is pop culture selection where all shops deal in pop culture related goods that represent stated Akihabara. By the way, on the ground floor of Onoden building, Akihabara TV studio and an open studio from where YouTube station broadcasts Akihabara TV. Welcome to the VR world. First, let's visit a traditional space with the longest history in Akihabara. In front of you is the torii gate, entrance to Kanda Jinja, the main garden shield of Edo. Jinja refers to the shin of the Shindo, the enormous region of Japan. Torii is a boundary between the celestial world and the square world of Shindo. Every time you pass through Torii, you will right. Let's take a breath before entering. You are supposed to profile yourself using water before entering the square world. The magnificent shrine gate is made entirely of Japanese cypress. Let's go through the gate and enter the presence. Let me explain Shindo a little bit. Shindo was developed from respect and awe of ascent people towards something great in this universe that went beyond human understanding. This something great is called kami. Kami. Kami is something like energy, and you cannot say nor understand it. However, everything in the world embodies the engineer of kami to the centuries extent. When someone embodied the more energy of kami in popular, the present would be revered by people with feeling of awe. And often, Ishan Kanda Jinja, Ishan's true kami appear in the mist and Taila no Masakato, a historic hero in eastern Japan. Established in the 8th century, this shrine had a long history. When shogun government was established in Edo or Tokyo in the 19th century, Kanda Jinja was designed by the Rin Garden shrine to the product Edo custom. The culture of the shogun and his government from a lucky direction, the shrine was called Kanda Myojin, and at that time the later remained Kanda Jinja. In the middle of May, Kanda Mastery is the profession of Kanda Jinja. Is held and many locals participate in it, showing strong bond with the shrine. The shrine is still popular among local people, who call it Myojin-sama, affectionately, and the guardian of the 108 charms in center of Tokyo. During Kanda Matsuri, Myojin of portable shined and followed parade around the Chuo Street, made from made coffee, also joined the parade. Next place is AMM's Etude. Let's take a look at some spots you can miss. 2 old stairs in Amico Etude, used when the building was a train station, are opened to the public. This is 1912 stairs, named after the year when the first Mansebashi station was built. So where are the stairs? Can you feel the atmosphere of that time? I feel strange when I imagine that people of more than 100 years ago went up and down their stairs. Don't you feel as if you travel beyond time? Now you arrive at the 2002nd floor, and there is a cafe restaurant on the floor. You can enjoy meals and office with cellular around. And this is a 2030 platform. Originally, it was built as a platform of the first Mansebashi station in 1912 and renovated into the observatory The attraction of the spot is the view with the Chill Line train running just in front of your eyes. In particular, it is so impressive to see trains on both sides pass each other. If you are railway fan, you cannot miss the spot. This is 1935 stairs and it was built in 1935 with the railway museum. There is a screen at the landing that shows historic pictures including Mansebashi Station. History buffs cannot miss it. In the library on the ground floor, you can see a diorama of the Mansebashi Station, and it is a victory of about 100 years ago. One more thing to notice here. This is a tiled wall of 1912 stairs. Let's take a closer look and notice the joint. Can you see middle part swell making of semi-cylindrical shape? It is called convex truss joint and requires scaled technique. Marunouchi side of red brick Tokyo Station building is another example of wall with this joint in Tokyo. By the way, this is the tiled wall of 1935 stairs. Let's look closer at the joint. It is flat, no more convex truss joint which requires expert and take more time and hands. Such difference tells the change of time and people's attitudes. This is a secret from Mansebashi of Mansei Bridge. Kyuchi Bridge was built in 1930. So there are many nice shops in Akihabara. No time to introduce them this time. If you have a chance, please visit those shops. The red brick arch viaduct of Kanda River make really beautiful scenery. It is also nice to take a walk on the open tracks. Welcome back to your real world. How did you enjoy VR experience? This taxi is going toward the back street, where it's always busy with deep otaku and engineers. Coming and going and land with professional specialist shops which can meet their demands. It introduced the childcare trick and Akihabara and a ton of hobby. Interest and technology. Girls in costume often hand out flyers on the street. Please refrain from taking direct photos of them and avoid posting any photos on SNS if you can see faces of passengers of those girls clearly. Now, please watch the screen. This is Kotobukiya, one of the shop figuring of plastic model makers in Japan. Established 19 years ago, Kotobukiya had items related to major works of movies, games and anime, such as Star Wars, Final Fantasy, Studio Ghibli anime, that you cannot find easily in other shops in Akihabara. It is amusing that two destination anime or manga characters are converted perfectly into three-dimensional figures. The work has reached a high degree of reproduction. It is impressive that different textures, such as the softness of the skin as well as clothes of different materials, and expressed so well. You can see the cultured mindshop of Japanese, who always do not eat and cross dance, and the belief and the spirit resident in everything. Let in front of you in Kotobukiya, and look up to the right side. You can see the colorful signboard of Super Potato. Super Potato is a well-known video game shop in the out of the Japan. It houses treasures for class video games lovers, such as Onagin PlayStation 2, Classic Game Custom, Nintendo Family Computers, as Sega Mega Drive, Old War VR games, Wantaji video games such as the Square Invader are also available. Asobles, a heaven of classic video game in substance. The street in front of you is Kanda Street. Can you see a building cross the road with cute pink ribbon and heart-shaped object? That is the mark of at-home cafe, the Maid Cafe you visit in VR video. Maid Cafe is a must place to visit Japan pop culture, fans and introduced even in guidebooks published in foreign countries. Typically, a maid coffee shop is linked to the mission of the guest, and the waitress dressed up a maid welcome and entertain the guests and their matters or ladies. Nowadays, there are made coffee of different settings and stories too. People often misunderstand what is made coffee and who is maid-san. Maid-san in Akihabara is similar to maid-san in Tokyo. And they invite guests to the extraordinary world out of the daily life and entering there so the guests enjoy the special time forgetting their ordinary life. Just Japanese tradition culture underlines such new phenomena like maid coffee, whose maids are very cute and kawaii. Japan has a tradition that people value very young children, and they are pure and incarnate. Maid coffee was born and developed in Japan because of those culture and tradition. By the way, do you know esports? Esports is an abbreviation of electric sports and a form of competition using computer games or video games. Esports is not so much familiar in Japan yet. However, its player population is more than 100 million in the world, and in some countries like USA, professional games are recognized to be professional sports player. SoapMap Akihabara Professional Computer and the Great Store on your left side has Esports Studio Akihabara on the 7th floor. Its 5th floor is gaming machine selection and the 6th floor is gaming device selection. The second building from SoftMap in Jichun. Jichun is a gaming machine brand Japanese PC maker mouse computer. PC market was launched a few years ago, but recently it is getting successful again. One factor is heavy demand for PC with necessarily spec of virtual meeting. Telework is remote work under the consolidation production. The other is the demand of gaming PC with even higher spec of esports. If you have no idea about present video game characteristics, please make a visit to Jichun, and your impression of video game will totally change. The word esports came into use in 2000. In 2011, the first Esports Japan Cup was held. In the USA, the International 2007 was held and its total prize money was $24 million US. The first one got about $10 million. Some of the professional esports players earn more than 300 million yen per year. Market size of esports in the world is said to be 140 billion yen. Japan is a backward country in terms of esports, and it means you can expect an increase in the size of the market in the future. At most schools overseas, esports is an elective subject. Japan follows this trend, and some organizations, such as the Japan Sports Union, were established to promote esports in Japan. Nowadays, there are some Japanese international esports players such as Mr. Tokido, who won first place in the popular fighting game Street Fighter V in the world match held in 2017. Esports is exempted to be included among Olympic events and expected to evolve in the future. Esports is now permitted into Japanese select due to the Oregon COVID-19 selection, and there are some competitors who have a computer field with esports. Here I give you a quiz. This is very popular in Akihabara and you see it everywhere. What's it? The answer is gachapon. The machine that you interest coins into a shield and turn the lever, and pull out a ball-shaped pulse with a turning inside. On the left-hand side, gachapon icon with the yellow symbol is coming into view. Inner walls of gachapon icon are occupied by gachapon machines. Have you ever tried one? Gachapon is very popular among foreign visitors too. What attracts people? First, it is expensive. Second, there are a lot of unique products with good humor, such as writing interact, fruits zombie, too much free spirit, the Statue of Liberty. On the top of that, items are very high quality. Some Japanese people are fascinated by electrical made small things in the miniatures. After turning at the corner, you will see a kebab shop on the right-hand side. The Star Kebab first started at the food truck in Akihabara, and now they run their own shop in the back street. This is a typical success story in Akihabara, and the goal is to open a business at Main Street. By the way, when you hear Akihabara, idol group AKB48 comes to most of the Japanese people. It was formed in 2005 by music producer Yasushi Akimoto, who wanted to create a group of idols you can meet. Among 7,904 girls auditioned, only 24 was selected. The name AKB comes from Akihabara, where their theater is located. Their memorable first stage has 72 people. They performed every day on the stage and held events to interact with fans. Now it has become a nationally popular group and idol you can hardly meet. You are going to cross Chuo Street and turn to the right. You will see Don Quixote building. On your right, cross the street, where AKB48 Center is located. There are many sister groups of AKB48 now, not only in Japan but also overseas. In Japan, there are SKE48 in the Sekanen in Nagoya, MB48 in Nanba in Osaka, HKT48 in Hakata in Fukuoka, NGT48 in Niigata, STU48 in Sentochi area, overseas JKT48 in Jakarta, Indonesia, MNL48 in Manila, the Philippines. Don Quixote is the name of a large discount chain store. This Akihabara branch is well known as the birthplace of AKB48, and the AKB48 Center is located on the 8th floor. By the way, do you know the animation Mobile Suit Gundam? The first service was arranged in 1979. Coincidentally, the same year when Sony Walkman was released. Since then, new services were made one after another to be aired on TV or screen, rarely long-running anime works. Just like Star Wars movies, there are many fans who say they have grown with Gundam series. Gundam was a epoch-making work in the terms of its realistic and complete story and setting when each episode of most anime series were complete story. In the story, human beings moved into the universe and formed the Earth's foundation. Then the war broke out between the Earth's Federation and the Pre-Patriotism, who declared its independence. Amuro, a boy and a main character on the side of the Earth. There is a Gundam cafe in the area called Crossfield, located in the traveling direction. Please watch the screen. The cafe is divided into 4 areas. Zero Dining Tokyo is a hand-on diner, one where you can feel as if you were a military officer of the them. Restaurant area is a restaurant resembles a meals held inside a space battleship of the Earth's Foundation. Feature large coffee offers take-out drink and you can choose taste and tell some your drink. Goods shop covers about 2,060 original items. From 1928 and to 1989, Kanda Vegetable and Fruit Market, the biggest one in Japan, was located around here. After the market moved, this area was republished and an IT hub, named Crossfield, and opened in 2006. On the right side, under the electric railway, can you find the Gundam Cafe? The railway company, JR East, has been provisioned to make a good use. The railway company, JR East, has been promoted to make a good use of the electrification. All things considered, Akihabara shares its history with the railway. Viaduct and the attraction of the town lies under the viaduct. Let's see some interesting shops under the electric railway. First, Chabala. A variety of foods all over Japan are carefully selected by buyers and gathered here. Chabala was named after Chabala, a vegetable, a fruit market, and Akihabara. Sikh base Akioka. As a base, when you can seek through, it's offered various kinds of shops specializing in your hobby, a cafe, and a hotel. I will show you some shops. Right side is the Hidachiko Breitokin district, a whiskey distillery and dining bar. You can enjoy whiskey and delicious craft beer made of their own words. Watch the screen, please. This is the second piece, a camera shop directly managed by Sampo Camera, which was established in 1975. This shop sells many proof owners and cameras and interchangeable items. If you bring your own camera, you can try to attract a lens to your camera body. They also offer developing and operating service. Next, Rikofan Akihabara Shop. It is a shop specialized in improved CDs and records. Uncomfortable numbers of CDs and records of many different grades and are in the shop. Move on the next stop, Final Store, directly made by Final, a Japanese earphone and headphone company. Those stylish and high-grade horse brand earphones are worth seeing. The earphones you used in VR experience today are offered by this shop. Let's see next Tokyo Video Games, a cafe and bar. It looks like a riddle game attract. You can enjoy playing games and Achiko here. Then please look at the right-hand side. There is Akihabara branch of Taiko Labo. The taiko or Japanese drum school is the largest school in the world. Rental sticks are a retail lesson are available here. Beach Takio, sweet or loud, a railway street of the gather refresh. Then, please, I will tell you the origin of the name of Akihabara. Tokyo previously had failed since it proved. Nothing had changed if image proved, and there was a terrible fire in 1869. After the fire, the place around here was arranged to a fair break in the space. A Shindo shan was built and 3 details who prevent fire was invited from the imperial place and issued. However, people misunderstood that Akihabara Daigogen, a famous dieter who prevent fires, was issued, so people called the shan Akihabara Sama and this area Akihabara Gogen, not Halapa or Akibalaha, means the field of the Akihabara Daigogen shan. Hala in Japanese means field or open space. They say this is Gogen in the name Akihabara. In the front left side of you is Yodobashi Camera, Multimedia Akihabara. Yodobashi Camera is a major Japanese retail chain specializing in the electric PCs, cameras, and photograph for electric, and this is the second largest store in Japan after the Umeda store in Osaka. My tall god friends often say this building has a black hole because some of their guests had disappeared in the building and never come back again. The guests who comfortably could come back alive will say they don't understand why they were late for the meeting time. Do you remember the old map you saw at the beginning of the tower? The blue square, do you remember? Is it? A basin of foreign ships were here. Now our tower has come to an end. How was the tower? Did you enjoy VR? We are also glad if you the tower could convert the attraction of Akihabara. We would appreciate if you could take a few minutes to fill out a questionnaire before leaving. Thank you for joining the tour. Please come back to Real Akihabara next time.